Hey guys, today I'm back with another review, and today we are going to be checking out the new upcoming mouse pads from Infinity Mice. These mouse pads were sent out for review purposes by Infinity Mice, but like always, that doesn't affect anything I do say in these reviews. So in front of me I have 4 pads. The first one is going to be the Vagabond, which is a hybrid pad. This is a limited edition copy, so it's only going to be here for a limited time. And then we have another hybrid pad, then you have a speed pad, and then a control pad. All of these pads come in 2 sizes, and that's going to be 490 by 420, which I have in front of me, and then a square option with 490 by 490 millimeters. As for the pricing of these pads, the Vagabond is $39.99, and that's going to be both for the 490 by 420 size and the 490 by 490 size. For the regular in stock options, the small size, the 490 by 420 size, is going to be $34.99, and then the larger size is going to come in at $39.99. The quality on these pads for the price is pretty much insane, since you are getting a custom IPU base, which does stick to my desk really well. You do get pretty nice stitching, pretty level to the surface, and the actual quality and the tightness of it is on point, and the actual surfaces on each of these pads feel unique enough from other pads that they don't really feel boring or anything like that. I'm first going to talk about the Vagabond and then slowly go down the list, and it's going to be in order from my favorite to least favorite. So coming right at the top is going to be the Vagabond. That's going to be for a couple of reasons. First of all, the art style on this pad is done very well. It is pretty colorful and pretty unique. And then the actual surface of this pad, it is a hybrid pad, but it doesn't feel textured like a Heian or anything. It's just a very nice, smooth, almost soft like surface to it, which does result in having pretty low initial friction. It's not going to be as low as something like their speed pad, but it's definitely low enough to the point where micro adjustments will feel pretty effortless on this. And then dynamic friction on this pad is also pretty low. Overall, it's a pretty balanced hybrid pad that does actually come close to something like the Hayate Otsu, but it just has a slightly more or higher initial friction compared to that pad. Now for my second favorite pad from the whole collection, that's going to be the speed pad. This is a part of their in-stock collection, so it only comes in this red color, and of course you do have the 2 size options, 490 by 420, which I do have here, and then the 490 by 490 square option. Right when I got this mouse pad, just right out of the gate when I first put it on my desk, I knew it's going to be up there with my favorite pads such as the Sky pad or even like the Lamzu Energon, since they are kind of in this speed category. So you are getting very low initial friction and very low dynamic friction, so micro adjustments are going to feel pretty effortless, and then your tracking is going to feel smooth and effortless as well. I do like this pad over the Sky pad since you are getting a little bit more control, so stopping on the dime feels way easier on this pad than something like a Sky pad or a Super Glide. Just in general, just a absolutely amazing speed pad, which I do recommend to a lot of people that play heavy tracking games such as Battlefield, Call of Duty, or Apex. Even Valorant players might enjoy this if you are looking for something with low initial friction, but you do still have enough control to stop on a dime. One thing I can say about this pad, which is a negative thing, is the corners don't lay flat, such as in top right and even on the left side, but Infinity Mice have already addressed this with their manufacturer. Now hopefully the units that you get, the customers will get, will probably be way better in terms of the quality control. Now for the in-stock hybrid pad, this does feel pretty different from the Vagabond, which is also a hybrid pad. Just because this doesn't have a print to it, it is going to have a overall rougher texture to it and a overall just more controlled feeling to it. The texture of the pad isn't going to be as harsh as something like the Freefall pad or even the Heian. It's going to be pretty manageable if you do have pretty sensitive skin. The initial friction and the dynamic friction is also going to be higher than the Vagabond. As you can see, my mouse pretty much just stopped on a dime, doesn't really want to keep going, and the initial friction is also going to be higher than the Vagabond. It's not going to be less manageable or anything, it's still pretty much effortless, but it's just a tiny bit more tug to it. Now onto the last pad, and that's going to be the control pad. I put this last on my list, and that's going to be for a couple of reasons, and that's just going to be because the dynamic friction on this mouse pad is pretty high. The initial friction on this pad actually surprised me just because it does kind of not feel that high. It's still manageable, micro adjustments are pretty effortless, but the dynamic friction, when you get your mouse moving, it does have a bit of muddiness to it, but The stopping power on this mouse pad is going to be pretty great as well. It's just not my favorite just because the dynamic friction feels so muddy. Now onto my rating of these pads, and this is the first time I'm going to give a product on this channel a 10 out of 10. That's going to be for a couple of reasons. First of all, each pad in the whole collection in general is done very well. And then second of all, there's going to be a pad for everyone in their collection. If you want a balanced pad, you can go the Vagabond or the hybrid pad. If you want a very controlled pad, the control pad is for you. And if you want something that rivals the Sky pad in terms of speed, then the speed pad will be for you. Third of all, the price to quality is going to be insane. For $35, you're getting insane stitching. You are getting a custom IPU base, which in my opinion, they have done very well. These pads do go live later this month, and if this video did help you out in choosing what pad to pick out and actually purchase, then do consider using my code at checkout. That will give you 5% discount and will also help out the channel in a way. But yeah, thank you all for watching. See you all in the next one.